Well, the Phillies got the brooms out last night. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Phillies Hot Stove Media to recap in last night's game between the Phillies and the Cincinnati Reds, as the Phillies defeat the Reds by a final score of 4-0 as they sweep out this 4-game series. Now are 15 games over the 500 mark as they now sit at 70 and 55. Now, guys, before getting into this video, please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn on the engagement bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. So the Phillies are taking care of business, right? Beating the bad baseball teams like the Cincinnati Reds, as we've seen over the last couple weeks, right? I mean, they took 2 or 3 at Great American Ballpark. They sweep out this 4-game series at Citizens Bank Park. The Phillies sweep out the Pittsburgh Pirates at PNC Park, and they meet them again this weekend for a 3-game series at the Bank. Kyle Schwarber hitting his first home run in like a minute. My goodness gracious. National League leader in home runs with 35 on the year. And Aaron Nola pitches a complete game shutout. When this Phillies team and this Phillies pitching staff having health problems with now losing Zach Lear to the 15-day IL, with Corey Knebel being out for the season, with Randy Dominguez also being on the IL as well. It really is huge for this bullpen to get a day off, especially, I mean, we haven't had a day off in a while. We're not going to get one for a little while as well. No day off on Monday. I mean, this is just brutal for this Phillies team, dealing with these health problems and not being able to get a day off. So it's really nice for this bullpen to get a day off, and Aaron Nola goes the distance. He's been better than Zach Lear has been this year, hands down. Zach Lear really hasn't been that great since the All-Star break. You do not know, Zach Lear was placed on the 15-day IL prior to yesterday's ball game. Right forearm tendonitis, of course. Brandon Marsh is now rehabbing with the Lehigh Fire Iron Pigs, was a very good sign, right? I mean, that was announced this morning. I apologize for all these video recaps getting out the next day. I've been very busy. If you did not know, I moved again recently to a temporary place once again. Of course, the house I was at before, also temporary. This place will only be at for a couple months, and then, of course, I'll be moving to my permanent residence in about 2 months or so. And also, I started college on Monday, so I've had a lot on my plate. I apologize for that. So usually, I like to get these videos out, after the game at night. So pick up the scoring summary here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Kyle Schwarber gets the Phils on the board as he homers on a fly ball to center field. I mean, he was in a 3-0 count his first at bat, ended up striking out as he looks at 3 straight strikes go right by him. Doesn't even swing the bat. Boy, he swung the bat on that one. That ball was absolutely murdered. He did nothing in this series, and I mean, my goodness gracious, I mean, that certainly made up for, partly made up for that. My gosh, of course, it was another solo shot. Kyle Schwarber, all he does is hit solo home runs, and that's one of the biggest negatives about having him in the leadoff spot. 35 home runs for Schwarber, hit off the brick wall, 451 feet, and the Phillies lead at 1-0. That ball was an absolute bomb, to say the least. Let me pick it up here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Some fundamental baseball coming from Emilio Sosa. He hits a sacrifice fly into center field. Art Stubbs crosses the plate as JT Muto got the night off last night, and the Phillies now lead at 2-0. So I love some fundamental baseball. Of course, I still am not too impressed with Sosa, what he's been able to do in a Phillies uniform, especially on the defensive side of the game. But that was certainly nice to see. I love to see fundamental baseball. I love to see teams manufacture runs like that. It should be very simple for professionals. And we pick it up here in the bottom of the 7th inning. He does it again. Emilio Sosa singles on a ground ball to center field. Matt Fearling and Bradley Zimmer across the plate, as it's now 4-0 Philadelphia. We saw it when we were in Cincinnati, right, playing the Reds. He was able to do some damage against them. And here he goes last night. I mean, 3 RBI night for Emilio Sosa. As I'm talking about, this is a guy that was brought aboard strictly, mostly for his defensive ability. And what he's provided at the plate certainly has not been bad at all. So that would be your final 4-0 Philadelphia. I just wish Emilio Sosa would, just pick up, his defensive ability, because if he did, I mean, he certainly would be outperforming my expectations, because he certainly has done it on the offensive side of the game. So the Phillies sweep out this 4-game series from the Reds. It would have been great if we could have split that series with the Mets. We would have even had a better homestand if he wouldn't have been able to do that, because I'm fully expecting at least 2 out of 3 against this Pirates team. I said win 6 out of the 7. Then now I'm saying win 7 out of 7 with the Reds and Pirates. So you already win the first 4 against the Reds and sweep them out. Let's take care of business and sweep out the Pirates to head out on this long road trip. So I'm very proud of this team. 15 games over at 500 mark. Yes, I know they're playing bad teams. Yes, I understand that. But you know what? In the past, you haven't done the job of beating the bad teams, losing to the Marlins so frequently since 2019. That has changed this year. Getting swept out of Arizona last year. losing 2 out of 3 to the Pirates, losing a series to the Rockies last year in September. I mean, I could just go on and on and on. Of course, we have had our moments this year, getting swept out by the Cubs at Citizens Bank Park. I mean, that happens sometimes. Remember, the Pirates swept out the Dodgers. So it's not that uncommon for that to happen occasionally, but this Phillies team has just been so much more consistent. As John Kruk said the other day, this feels different, and it feels like they're built for this time of year. In years past, I just haven't felt like they've been built for this time of year. They just haven't. But now they finally have enough depth. I mean, with Bryce Harper returning tonight, if you did not hear, right, he was just, scheduled to return on Monday, and he's just been doing so well, down at the, Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs in AAA in his rehab assignment that they just moved up, his date to return. So it's going to be tonight. I mean, the ballpark is probably going to be a sellout, I imagine. I mean, this is a team that's 15 games over. The lousy baseball team of the Pittsburgh Pirates coming to Citizens Bank Park. I can't imagine why Citizens Bank Park will not be very, very crowded tonight. I mean, it's a Friday night as well, so Bryce Harper expected to return this evening. And as I talked about, it's great news that Brandon Marsh is now on a rehab assignment, so that's good. That is good. That is for sure. Lee Osborne, and it was a big one, the absolute bomb. He hit out the center field off the brick wall. That was a loud first run of the ball game for the Phils. So 35 tanks now for Schwarber to go along with a 213 average, 73 RBIs, and 807 OPS for Schwarber. And hopefully he hits around 42 to 43 home runs. That would certainly be nice to see. And I think he's definitely is capable of doing that, especially hopefully he get 2 this weekend against the Pirates. He usually does pretty well on the road as well. And Rhys Hoskins, his performance last night as he goes down on strikes twice. This is just such a streaky player. We can't forget that, how streaky Rhys Hoskins is. His OPS sits a point above Kyle Schwarber's at 808, 26 tanks and 63 RBI. That was his last 7 games, a 148 average, a 258 OBP, and a 185 slugging. Over his last 15 games, 203 average, 319 OBP would go along with a 322 slugging. So he certainly hasn't been very productive over the last few weeks, that is for sure. This such a streaky player. We've seen his whole career. And Bryson Stott gets to start at short and bats third last night. He was able to collect another double, his 14th of the season, and also jolly walk, as his OPS now climbs up to 653. Just keeps getting higher and higher and higher. The average now just 1.5 230 at 229. So I'd love to see him get close to 250. What this guy's done. I mean, he's been one of our best players since the All-Star break, and no one really seems to ever want to talk about it. Nick Castellanos' hitless performance out of the cleanup spot. It only seems like he hit singles where he just does nothing. Gene Segura also going hitless as well, but he was able to draw a walk. Garrett Stubbs gets to start behind the plate. JT Muto gets a very well-deserved night off. As Garrett Stubbs was able to collect a single and also score one of the Phils' 4 runs. And Matt Vierling, one knock last night as well, collecting a single. Also was able to score one of the Phils' 4 runs as well. And Bradley Zimmer gets to start out in center. Actually had a pretty good night last night, singling twice. Also scoring. Emmanuel Sosa, 2 RBI single. And speaking of Emmanuel Sosa, it was a big one, 2 RBI single, also collecting a sacrifice fly. So he certainly stepped up big for the Phillies last night, and he gave Aaron Nola some comfort, right? I mean, we still would have won this ball game even if he wouldn't have driven in those 3 runs, but I mean, this would have been a lot more tight. If he just would have been, up 1-0 on the Kyle Schwarber solo shot. This offense, I mean, still hasn't really been that great. I'll be honest with you. Nick Castellanos has been better over the last few weeks or so, but I mean, still, he isn't performing up to my expectations. Of course, Kyle Schwarber certainly hasn't looked very good. Of course, he hit that, that monstrous home run last night. Rhys Hoskins has looked terrible the last few weeks. So this team, it just shows they have depth. Because guess what? Some nights, a lot of nights, these guys are going to show up. You know what I mean? The fact we're still able to win baseball games, not a lot of production out of these guys, it's certainly very impressive. It's only going to get better when Bryce Harper comes back. And yes, I understand these are against bad teams. I completely understand that. But it's still not easy to do, that is for sure. So Aaron Nola, your Phillies hot stove media player of the game, how can he not? A complete game shutout, allowing 5 hits, didn't walk anybody, and struck out 11. A 308 ERA for Nola, 9-10 now on the year. This is just incredible, especially when the Reds were really giving us a run for their money in the second game and the third game of the series. I'll be honest with you, they were really making it tough on us to beat them, and Aaron Nola was able to just shut them down completely. I mean, the curveball was so effective, I mean, just a lot of swings and misses on that. I mean, I just love it, and of course the changeup still very effective as well. His fastball has gotten much better this year too. This is a huge reason as to why we've seen kind of a reassurance of his 2018 campaign, which was very, very good, as we all remember. So, Aaron Nola, your Phillies Hot Stove Media Player of the Game. He was just absolutely masterful. It's nice to see this, especially when a guy like Zach Wheeler lands on the 15-day IL, and now this is going to put much more pressure on guys like Aaron Nola, guys like Ranger Suarez, everybody else, but especially those kind of guys that have definitely had good seasons. Not as much guys like Kyle Gibson. Of course, it's going to put pressure on everybody to step up, but especially the guys at the top, as I just mentioned. So, it is encouraging, despite Zach Wheeler landing on the 15-day IL, that we do have a good amount of depth coming out of this rotation with Bailey Falter, still, doing pretty well as he gets the opener starts. Chris Sanchez goes 6 innings 2 nights ago against the Reds. So, it is encouraging when you see stuff like that. That is for sure. So Aaron Nola, 166 and 2/3 innings, 185 strikeouts, and a 0.94 whip. I mean, this is by far his best season since 2018. Over his last 7 games, 2.42 ERA, 4-3 record, and he's been able to strike out 58. And over his last 15 starts, 111 strikeouts, an 0.93 whip, and an ERA at 2.80. I don't care what the record says. It doesn't really seem like we really score a lot when this guy is on the mound. We've definitely seen a lot of that. So the Phillies take care of business. They complete the 4-game sweep of the Cincinnati Reds. Bryce Harper expected to return tonight, back in the lineup. It has been quite a while. It's been over 2 months. We have missed this guy like crazy. I certainly have. Being such a Bryce Harper fan like myself, it's been very, very hard not to see this guy in the lineup. And despite this team being 15 games over the 500 mark, despite them being 2.5 up in the second wildcard spot in the National League, it still is disappointing not to see this guy in the lineup. So that is going to change most likely tonight. He will be back. So that's an excellent feeling, and a lot of these nagging injuries that have been going on all year are starting to catch up with people. It's not just with the Phils, a lot of other teams as well, but as I did mention, Zach Wheeler on the 15-day IL with right forearm tendonitis, and he certainly hasn't been too good, since the All-Star break, that is for sure. Ray that climbs up above the 307 mark. You go take a look. I just went through Aaron Nola's stats. Zach Wheeler, 148 strikeouts and 138 innings. He's pitched, a good amount of less innings than Aaron Nola has. 108 whip. So Aaron Nola has been the ace out of this team this year. If you want to count the number 1 guy, I think Aaron Nola has been the ace. That was clearly not the case last year, but it is nice to have 2 guys at the top. The little 1-2 punch with Wheeler and Nola. There's no question about that. But a 4.40 ERA for Wheeler's last 7 starts. So clearly this was a nagging thing for him. But it certainly is a bummer for this rotation. 100%, 100%. That's when it's nice to have guys like Noah Syndergaard. They got acquired at the deadline, of course, from the Angels. It's nice to have depth, right? It's nice to have depth. That's why the trade deadline is a thing. To really add depth and make their team better all the way around. So that is for sure. So 3-game series against the Pirates, 7-5 the first pitch tonight. MLB TV free game of the day. Wilson on the mound for Pittsburgh, 2-7 with a 5.74 ERA going against Bailey Falter. Of course, this was supposed to be Zach Wheeler's start, 1-3 with a 4.40 ERA. Hopefully he can do what he did or something similar to what he did Saturday, the second game doubleheader against the Mets. This is a much worse team than the Mets, of course, so I expect a lot here. 6.05, 80 on the mound for Pittsburgh, 1-3 with a 4.13 ERA going against Kyle Gibson, 8-5 with a 4.30 ERA, and 1:35 finale Sunday. Contreras 3-4 with a 3.86 ERA going against Noah Syndergaard, 8-8 with a 3.77 ERA. So 7-5 the first pitch tonight. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't done yet. Please turn on that notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media link in the description section at Phillies Hot Stove Media, Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at @PHotStoveMedia. Call or text 267-225-3392. Email me, PhilliesHotStoveMedia@gmail.com. So guys, thanks so much for watching. A nice 4-game sweep of the Cincinnati Reds. That certainly feels good. I'm Luke, and I'll talk to you later. Let's go Phils. I'll see you guys.